Welcome back to East Texas, the mail room. I'm Casey.
I'm Kevin.
All right, Kevin, you want to talk about college ball first?
Did you watch the game?
Hey, my glasses are up. They're not supposed to see my eyes. Go ahead.
Did you watch the game?
Yes, I watched. Which one?
All of them.
Yes, I did. I actually thought I was going to fall asleep on the Texas game last night, but I made it through to the end.
After halftime, it got pretty good.
It got real good, and Texas was in it until that interception returned for a touchdown. Yes. Or that fumble. Wasn't it a fumble and it bounced back up in his hands and he took off?
I don't remember. I know some dude. No, that was a.
Was that another game?
No, that was like supposed to be just like a let's get a first down kind of thing, and it's like the seas parted. 75 yards or whatever it was.
Well, but wait a minute. Now, what the
anyway, we lost. I know
but wasn't the Ohio State game though?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But wasn't like okay, that's they went up one touchdown. But remember at the very end they went up off. But it hit the ground and bounced up. And that he hit the quarterback and made him fumble the ball. It bounced back up into his hands and he ran all the way for a touchdown. Remember that?
Yes, that was that. Yeah,
that's what I was talking about.
A big dude too. He wasn't. Wasn't real fast.
Yeah, he ran it 80 yards,
75 or 80 yards. He had such a long.
At that point, the game was over. Texas lost. So
it wasn't 2 minutes in the game and they were down 2 touchdowns. So,
but they came back, right? Yeah.
No, 28-14.
You talking about Texas?
Yeah, Texas got smoked.
But then they caught up to 14-14, though.
Yeah, one
that's
time
what
they
I
were
was
tied.
About.
Yeah, but then they lost 28-14.
Me and you both, I think last week, both of us thought Ohio State would probably win that.
Yeah, I would really like seeing Texas and Notre Dame. They were back in the late 60s, early 70s. They went to a national championship game, and I think that was when it was a big rivalry.
Now, you know what? We're talking about two wrong teams. I'm confused. Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame won. Yeah, Notre Dame won their game. So
who did they play though?
Penn State.
That's right.
So them beating Penn State, they're in the national championship game. That's why I wanted Texas to win because it would have been Texas and Notre Dame in the championship game. Instead, it's
I was rooting for Notre Dame, and I didn't think they'd win, but they did win, which was pretty cool. Which I really didn't think they would, but wasn't the Nittany Lions picked to win though? Didn't they have a better record or something?
No, I think they both come in with the same record. But
did they?
Yeah, but I think
they were ranked a little higher though.
I think Penn State probably was favored by a point or two if I was guessing, but I don't know. I'm just glad Notre Dame won.
Well, should we talk about this bandage on my head real quick?
Lay it out.
Well, I mean, I'm sure some of you are going, what the heck happened to his head? Well, I was reaching down trying to do something in the bottom of the car and come up and caught the corner of the dash and it carved out a canal on the top of my head and bled like crazy. I couldn't get it stopped, so I had to put this big, ugly bandage on. So we can move on now.
You were probably down there.
I didn't want everybody to think, what's going on? Has he got cancer? Something like that. So I may have cancer, but you never know. Anyway, let's go back.
Bottom line is we got Ohio State and Notre Dame in the championship game. And
who you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
Me
but
too.
I think Ohio State's going.
I do too.
They'll probably win that one. Ohio State's playing about as good as any football team in college right now. So
rooting for Notre Dame, putting my money on Ohio State. So let's go to the NFL.
Starts this weekend.
Yep. Today. Starts in about 30 minutes, I think.
Yes. So, all right. We're going to pick them.
Sure. Let's pick them. Let's go with Chargers and Titans.
You get the first pick.
Why? I don't keep up with any of these clowns. Chargers and Titans. I'm going to go with the Titans.
Okay.
You got it?
No, it's the Texans, not the Titans.
Oh, it's Texans. I'm sorry. Houston Texans. Chargers and Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans. Where are the Titans? I thought I saw them. They're out of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, they sucked it up bad. I'm going with the Chargers.
Are you really? Okay.
I hope Texas wins, but
Chargers are looking really good, though.
I think they got enough to beat Houston.
Okay. So next we got the Steelers
And the Ravens.
And the Ravens. Ooh, I'm going with the Ravens. I like Steelers. I love Steelers. I love their coach, but I think the Ravens are going to beat them.
I agree.
Tomorrow,
Ravens are probably, to me, the Ravens in the AFC could probably beat anybody that's in the playoffs.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
But I don't know if they will. I think they're going to beat the Steelers, but then you got Buffalo and Kansas City and all them too.
That would be a great upset if the Steelers beat them.
Yeah,
it would be awesome. So anyway, tomorrow.
So then you got Denver and Buffalo. I know you're a Colorado guy.
Yeah, I spent 4 years in Colorado. Loved every minute of it. I was never a Bronco fan though. So, and Denver's been doing real good. I have not watched the Bills one time this year.
I'm picking Buffalo.
Are you really? Are they that good?
they're better than Denver.
Are they?
Yeah, and they're playing in Buffalo.
All right. Well, I'll go with Buffalo. Next, we got the Eagles.
Packers and the Packers and the Eagles.
Packers and Eagles.
This is one.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I know you hate the Eagles.
Yes, I do.
But I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this.
Here's the thing. They played the first game of the year. The Eagles and the Packers played. They went to Brazil. That was the first game they played in Brazil.
I think I remember that.
The Eagles won the game. But it wasn't a blow. It was like 34-29, something like that. I don't know. It was pretty close. Green Bay came to Dallas last year, ranked way at the bottom. Like they barely skated into the playoffs. Came to Dallas, and we were like second or third, fourth, something like that. We were ranked higher than they were. They came to Dallas and smoked us.
Imagine that.
So I'm just praying for another one of those games where Green Bay goes to Philly and just smokes them.
So if you're putting money on the game,
I'd have to go to the Eagles.
Yeah, but you're rooting. But you're going to go with.
I'm gonna pick the Eagles to win, but I hope.
Yep.
I hope Green Bay
goes
and smokes them.
Right, that's Packers.
Then you got the Redskins and the Bucks, and I'm thinking the Bucks. I'll take them right off the bat.
The Buccaneers.
They're playing in Tampa.
Since that's happening, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. I never ever liked the Redskins. One of my best friends is a Redskin fan, so I'm hoping they get beat.
And last,
Rams and Vikings.
That's a Monday night game, and they're playing in. Minnesota's got it's like they won like 14 games, man. I mean, it was down to them and Detroit. Whoever won between them and Detroit got the bye, got the number 1 seed, got everything.
And Detroit was doing so good.
And Detroit is, they're in there. Detroit's got a bye. They're sitting at the house watching. They're watching this weekend.
So the Rams and the Vikings. So who are you picking?
I'm picking Minnesota. They're playing in the Rams, and the Rams didn't win, but about. I don't know. I'd have to Google it to find out. They lost a bunch of games. So they're like 11-6 or 10-7, something like that. They're
backing in. I'll go with the Vikings.
I'm gonna pick the Vikings.
Let's go with the Vikings.
All right, that's it.
All right, I think Kevin wanted to.
We have hang on.
All right, here we go.
We got one difference. So
really, which one is it?
The top game. You got the Texans. I got the Chargers.
All right, go Texans. You're voting for a No, you're not. You're not rooting for them. You're putting your money on them. Yeah. I got you. All right.
Yeah, if I had to put money on them, that's where I'd go.
All right.
How about the fires in California?
All right, let's talk about the fires in California. That is unbelievable to me. I mean, you watch it on TV, and it just doesn't seem possible that could happen.
Dude, I've seen pictures on TV, and I'm talking about now. I grew up, and I know I've been to your neighborhood too. I'm talking about like line after line after line after line, just driving through neighborhoods where there's just hundreds and hundreds of houses
and no houses,
and they're just leveled, man, nothing but ash. How do you?
So far, how many have died? Last report
I heard was like 10.
10. That's what I heard.
But that was yesterday.
And then another fire bellowed back up either yesterday or this morning and is headed towards Brentwood. It's what I heard. I don't know if they've got that under control yet or
No,
not.
they ain't got hardly anything.
They got nothing control.
They got no water.
Tell them what you told me about. It was at Oregon fire trucks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know how true this is because you can read anything on the internet, and but it sounded like on par for California in my opinion, because I drive a truck and I know what it's like. We quit going to California because of the emissions stuff. If you get caught, it's like a big fat fine that you can't. I mean, you might as well sell everything and get out of the trucking business,
right? If
you got caught, basically. Yeah. So this is what I read. Oregon decided to send about 6 fire trucks down there to help them out. Oregon's right above California. You come right down through Sacramento and head south to the fires, but they wanted them to stop in Sacramento so they could check them for their emissions. I don't know how true that is. Might get laughed right out of here if it ends up being false, because I know people that would laugh.
But if it is true,
it's typical of California, so I can see it happening. But supposedly anybody bringing out-of-state fire trucks in have to be checked in Sacramento, and they have to be checked when they leave. What that's about, I don't know. Meanwhile, we got no water. People's
houses are burning as we speak, and they want to stop and inspect a fire engine as it comes into the state. That's just unbelievable.
And meanwhile, we ain't got no water in the fire hydrants. And I did see a clip. They got some pathetic leadership in that state. I'm just telling you. I'll say that, and that's what I think. Now, this guy, their governor.
Is it their governor?
Yes.
Who was I looking at? The mayor? That chick?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's an idiot too.
Yes.
But the governor wiped out 4 dams on certain reservoirs or something, so these Indian reservations could have creeks running through them,
right,
that produce steelhead and salmon and all that. And meanwhile, the governor's been told, and their forestry for decades, go pick up a stick in the national forest and you can't take it out of the park because it's part of the national forest kind of thing. That's been known forever. And they don't take care of their forest. So all that dead wood laying on the ground, it just burns and burns. I mean, it's like, like that big burn pile right out here.
Right.
You go light a match on it after it's been sitting out there for a month and it
explodes.
Yeah. So, and it's the same thing with their forest. And then anyway, the dams that got busted, and they say that they always talk about they've been in a drought. They've been talking about a drought for a decade. Well, when they get rain, they don't have a way to catch rain and
reuse it,
put it in a like a
reservoir,
and it goes to some reservoir somewhere and where they can use it.
Yeah.
So and then you hear stuff, oh well, Big Ag's got all the water. Well, that's one of the biggest things there is in California is agriculture. I mean, you look at San Diego, LA, and then up north, San Francisco and Sacramento and all that up in there. All of that, there's 400 miles of nothing but farmland in California. I've been to a bunch of it, and it's just walnuts, pistachios, every kind of nut you can grow, they grow, and it's just hundreds of miles of just farmland and produce.
They get water down there, huh?
Somehow they're getting water there, enough to do that with anyway. But yet when LA catches on fire, you can't. You got dead fire hydrants, no water in them. 20% supposedly is what I heard didn't have water in them.
And this is the result of letting government control things. And meanwhile, in the Carolinas also, we have people still living in tents from the floods that happened, 3 months ago?
Nah, it was it wasn't but about.
Was it 2 months?
Well, it was about a month and a half ago, 6 or 8 weeks, something like that.
Still living in tents, and the federal government's going to do everything for the Californian, which I'm fine with that. But if you're going to do that, You should be helping the people in the Carolinas who are still living in tents, which
Tennessee,
is just ridiculous.
Eastern Tennessee, and Western North Carolina. They got wiped out. Houses just floating down the river. And
so if you
falling
got
apart
the
as they
money, go to a legit website and help these people out. Donate what you can, especially to the Carolinas and to California. I'm not saying anything bad about the people losing their homes. But boy, the government there is just absolutely pathetic.
Pathetic.
So anyway, hey, by the way, I haven't told you this yet. You ready for this?
Let her rip.
So instead of the women getting mad at me for driving tips and maybe recipes and cleaning tips, I think in about a month, I'm going to invite my Nana D to come down, and she's going to give the tips to the women so I don't get upset. They don't get upset at me. They get upset at Nana D, okay?
All right.
All right, so we'll be bringing her in to give you ladies some, if there are any ladies watching, give some of you ladies some tips on maybe some new recipes. Your husband's probably wore out on some of those old tired recipes you're cooking him. So maybe some fresh new recipes. Definitely, Kevin was saying about how bad women drivers are. So we need to bring in some driving tips. Isn't that what you told me? So anyway, we'll get Nana D in here to take care of that. That way you don't get mad at her, not me. And we also want to bring in, we're going to be bringing in, you got anything else with football? Are we done with football? We're going to be bringing in a buddy of ours who's really big into deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So all you deer hunters, his son, we may be bringing his son too, because his son has killed a buck in every county in Texas. So he must be doing something right.
Obviously.
I think he's got a pretty big channel, but we'll be bringing Randy in and talking to him. That'll probably be our next episode, and we are going to be going live. So soon. You need to, subscribe, ring the little bell, like and share this with everybody you can to help us out. But you do need to, is it ring the bell or subscribe to know when we're going live?
Like, share, and subscribe is all I can tell you.
Yeah, and there's a little bell you can ring too, I think. So anyway,
it's there ringing, I guess.
Yeah, just ring it. Anyway, we are going to do some live stuff to where y'all can
tune right in
and you can type in questions on the live broadcast. And I don't know if we're going to do that with Randy or not. So between now and our next one, if you have anything you want to talk about, Randy, to talk about when it comes to hunting, rifles, where he hunts, how he hunts. I was a hunter back in the day. Are you? No, I was. I mean, I'm
not a hunter, and don't think I'm one of them guys, because I am a gun fanatic.
He is a gun fanatic. I'll give you that.
I do love guns.
I don't know how many guns he has, but I know he's got some ammunition.
But I just never have been a hunter. Never had the desire. I went hunting one time, and all right, this is my hunting story. I should wait for Randy to get here, but I'm gonna tell you now. We go to this hunting camp down south of here. So we get down there, and
what town?
Down around Buffalo, around in there.
Oh, okay.
Down in that area.
Buffalo, Texas. For our international viewers, that's Buffalo, Texas.
Yeah. So we get down there, and of course, it's deer camp, and all these guys are sitting around there. There's about 6 or 8 of us, I guess.
Were they reading the Bible?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Well, they're sitting around drinking and doing all this kind of stuff,
Drinking and reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Telling their
jokes,
best jokes or whatever. So they do this till like midnight, 1 o'clock. I don't remember what time it was. Way after dark, and we got there pretty close to dark. So we're gonna go hunting the next morning, and so we go to bed. All right, and I'm sleeping in something, I lay down there and I was like, man, it was cold, and I wrapped up and I got to sleep, and you know how it is when.
Now, how long ago was this? How old were you?
Gosh, man, this had to be 15 years ago.
Oh wow, okay.
You know how it is when you're cold and you get wrapped up and you're all warm, you just don't want to move.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I was.
Didn't want to get up the next morning when they got up.
Yeah, but they all got up, so you have to get up, and then They all
You
jumped.
can't be that guy.
They all jumped on 4-wheelers and they start taking their 4-wheelers down their trails and they
Yeah.
go to their blinds. And I'm told they say, get in that pickup, drive down there about 100 yards, and you'll have to walk about 50 yards or whatever. I don't remember what it was to where your deer stand's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they jumped on them 4-wheelers and whew, like a bunch of roaches, man. They were off, gone. I get in that pickup, started up, and that heater, man, it was on.
You were more worried about the cold than you were finding the deer.
I looked around, there was nobody in that deer camp but me, and it's like 4 o'clock, 4:30. I don't remember. It was early. So I look around, man, and I just like kick that seat back.
Didn't even care about a deer,
I
did
could
you?
care less about a deer, man. I went to sleep. And when they come back, they's like, would you see anything? No, I didn't see nothing, man.
Wow.
So anyway, I took the evening shift. I went hunting. And then when I get out there to hunt in the evening,
Yeah.
little old bitty small deer stand, wasn't room but for one person. It's got a cutout like right here.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in a chair.
Have a heater?
No.
Okay.
But it's, sun's out and
all. Oh, okay, okay.
We got a cutout here and a cutout in front of me. And then the little openings back here where you climb in. So I'm sitting there, man, and I'm looking. I've been looking out this one side over here out of the corner of my eye, just kind of looking at that feeder. And then I looked out there long enough that I started dozing. And all of a sudden I feel this tap on my leg.
Oh God.
And when he tapped on my leg, I looked straight out that other one in front of me, and a bobcat was looking at me.
Oh dear Lord.
Big bobcat.
Did you shoot it?
Well, I didn't, but the guy I was with did.
He shot it. Killed it.
He was sitting down there on the ground, just standing on the ground. And right before that, we heard this scream, sounded like a woman getting killed out there in the woods. And I looked at him when that happened. I was like, "What is that?
Is that a rabbit?"
He never. Yeah, well,
rabbits sound like babies crying.
Man, this was like horrible.
Yeah.
So he taps me on the leg, and I see him. Well, his gun's leaning up in the corner of this stand. So I reach over there. I get his gun and I hand it out there to him. And this bobcat's looking at us, and it's, there's a lot of woods and crab undergrowth and all that stuff. So he makes a trail around here, and he's following me. It's one of them trees, like not a willow tree, but like just a scrub brush. It like grew out and just kind of like long hair.
Wow.
Hanging down everywhere.
Like a willow tree.
Kind of like a willow tree, but it wasn't a willow tree. It was just whatever. So he's looking through all that. And anyway, that bobcat was headed right back up there to where his pickup was at. And he stopped. And when he stopped, he turned around like this and looked, and he popped him right in the shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Anyway, so
was he going to keep him, skin him, and keep his?
Yeah, he kept him.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
And he was like, and the guy that mounted it for him had to order 3 inches more styrofoam or whatever. He was that big. I know we took turns carrying him. It was about 100 yards to the truck.
Good Lord.
And I'd carry him 20 yards and hand him off. And then I'd tote the guns. He was big. He was nice.
Yeah, my hunting stories. I mean, when I was younger, I've killed a big old doe. I waited till it was dark, and you're not supposed to shoot after dark in Texas, I think. Is that correct?
I think.
This was so long ago, though, but I heard my girlfriend's dad driving up in the truck, and I was in the stand, and I went ahead and killed it. But of course, he did all the dirty work on that thing. And then the last time I went, it was me and my dad and my uncle went to Colorado and went elk hunting. My uncle saw something. I never saw anything. I'm like you. I fell asleep in the middle of the woods and woke up, and I was scared to death to open my eyes because I was afraid some animal had snuck up on me. But yeah, so I never. I killed that one doe. I don't think I ever killed another deer.
The only other time I went hunting, one of our friends we've known forever, Sonny
Valdez.
Went with him one time on a weekend, a little trip to over there, the other side of Fort Worth, over there. Billy Minnick had this place where he kept like buck and stock and stuff. Anyway, Sonny knew him and all that stuff. So we got to go over and dove hunt.
Was it Weatherford?
No. What's it? Saginaw. Somewhere over around Saginaw.
Never been.
But that was, me and Robin's been married for 42, 43 this November, or March, I mean. So it was at least 42 years ago because we hadn't been married that long.
Oh wow,
She went and
Sonny
stayed
that
with.
long? Oh my.
I've known him before I went to work at Coke.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my hunting stories. And I walked around with a 12-year-old kid, and I'm shooting at everything we see, not hitting nothing. And me and this 12-year-old kid's walking this tree line, and all of a sudden one comes out of the tree, and both of us, bam, bam.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You got him?
Oh, he hit the ground, and
Oh.
that little 12-year-old kid says, "I got him."
Oh Lord.
So it's like, okay, we'll take him then, because I don't know which one of us shot him. Anyway, 12-year-old kid got him that day.
Yeah, I'm a lazy hunter. But we went dove hunting in Colorado, me and two of my buddies, and John Santiago, he walked, I'd say at least a mile up onto this ridge, and me and another buddy of ours, Brian, me and him were sitting in the dirt, playing in the dirt. We had our shotguns, We're playing dirt, and we hear John holler. And so me and Brian, these three doves are coming. We don't even stand up. We just bam, 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 and we missed them. Both of us shot 3 times, and they just kept on flying. We never stood up to shoot at them either. We kept sitting down. So that's the last time I think I ever went dove hunting or any kind of hunting. But we used to go snake hunting when I was young. My brother would. He was a snake master. I mean, he been bit several times and everything. He'd skin them and salt them and turn them into stuff. But anyway, as far as that's the end of the hunting I used to do.
That's my hunting around here. I'll go copperhead hunting.
So Randy will be with us. He'll give us some professional ideas on deer hunting, and we may even bring his son in a little later in the next
any
month
of you hunters,
or two. Yeah. You got questions?
Got questions? Holler at us.
Yeah, start putting them down there in the comments. Yeah.
And, we will get them and we'll ask him because there's a whole lot I like to ask about hunting because I'm not a hunter. So there'd be some things I'd like to know just because I don't hunt.
Yeah, and you can go to Randy's website called Herd That Outdoors. Herd is spelled Herd. That Outdoors. Also, when he gets here, we're going to let him promote another website.
His wife
has a really good website. We're going to have him promote her website. She's in the construction business, so we'll start a round of talks on that. Other than that, I think, again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please, to help us out. Don't want to forget. You got anything else for today?
No.
You're good?
I'm good.
Mike, don't forget, if you have someone struggling with alcohol, any kind of addiction, don't forget, you can always call this number. And Mike, like I said before, he has been doing this for 17 years. He was in their shoes at one time. So, again, it's a Christ-based 12-step plan. And hopefully he can help anybody out that is looking for help.
I'm looking forward to having him over here.
Yeah, he will be on our podcast soon. But other than that, I think we're fixing to go watch the Chargers
and the Texans
play. So if that is it for today, is that it for today? Are we done?
I'm done.
That didn't sound like it. It seemed like it lasted too long. So this is our time to say, I'm Casey.
I'm Kevin.
Goodbye.
Adios.